What is an A1C? It is a measurement to determine the average amount of sugar in your blood over the past 3 months. To further understand this test, let's look at how the body functions. When you consume food, it is broken down into carbohydrates or sugar. When the sugar is absorbed by your intestine, it makes its way into the blood vessels. I like to consider blood vessels the pipes of our bodies. Within the blood vessels are red blood cells. So when the sugar is in the bloodstream, a reaction occurs which causes the red blood cells and the sugar to stick together irreversibly. This is a process called glycosylation. Now, red blood cells are always generating and dying, but they typically last about 3 months. So an A1C measures how much sugar has attached to your blood cells in the past 3 months. This test requires a drop of blood, which is usually done with a small lancelet device that pokes your finger. Once the results of the A1C are in, it is helpful to use this thermometer chart. On the left you have the A1C value, which is a percentage, and on the right you have the average blood sugar value that equals the A1C percentage. For example, 7% equals a blood sugar value of 154. In the middle it tells you what your A1C value means. For people with diabetes, it is a good goal to be under 7%, which indicates that you have good control of your diabetes. Elevated values over 7% means you might be at risk for complications, which include heart disease, eye damage, nerve damage or neuropathy, foot issues, and having a harder time healing, which could potentially lead to amputations. So it is best to try to stay under 7%. So what do these values look like in the body? Let's go back to our blood vessels. On the left is a picture of a normal amount of sugar in the body, and on the right is too much sugar in the body. Let's look closer at these red blood cells. Imagine eating a healthy breakfast, let's say eggs and a banana. Once the sugar is in the bloodstream, a small amount of sugar attaches to the red blood cell because there is not a lot of sugar in the bloodstream. Let's add a donut and a Coke to our breakfast. These food items have a higher sugar content, so the bloodstream has a lot of sugar being circulated. This sugar coats the red blood cell. So when there's too much sugar in the blood vessels, it makes the blood thicker, which can make it harder to circulate. Imagine you have a filter. If you pour water through, it will pour right through. If you try to pour applesauce, which is thicker, it will take much longer to pour through, if at all. The same can be thought of your bloodstream. When you have low blood sugar, a normal amount of blood sugar, it circulates more effectively than when you have high blood sugar. Well, I hope you better understand what an A1C is now. Here are some key points. An A1C is the average amount of sugar in your blood over 3 months. And let's look at this thermometer chart again. Remember, we want to set a goal of having an A1C of less than 7%.
Created using Powtoon.